Hey everyone, either welcome back or welcome to my channel. And in today's video, I want to cover dizziness more in detail because I think it's an important symptom to cover, and it's one of the top symptoms that I have to deal with constantly. So before we get too far into the video, let's roll the intro. Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ashley Stewart. So, 2018 was actually a pretty hard year for me, but it was also a pretty good year too. So, I completed my bachelor's degree in biochemistry, but at the same time, I was also diagnosed with a rare condition called idiopathic intracranial hypertension, or IIH. Some of you may also know this by its older name called pseudotumor cerebri. So, if you're curious to learn more about what it's like to live with this rare condition, then I encourage you to watch on. Don't forget to subscribe, and I upload new content every Monday and Thursday afternoon. The first thing I want to do is kind of describe what my dizziness feels like. So the room actually feels like it's spinning when my dizziness gets really bad. And I actually had this happen last night. It was so bad that it kept me up. I have never felt dizziness like this in a long time. There are a few things that actually bring on my dizziness. So during my Zumba fitness workouts, I can't actually spin anymore. The spinning actually makes me dizzy. So anything that makes me dizzy during my workouts are either cut out or modified. Bending over also makes me dizzy, which is really, really annoying. So I try not to bend over as much as I possibly can. Usually, if I bend from the knees and bend down to pick something up, it's usually not as bad. But if I go and put my head, and I'm not going to do it because I'm going to make myself dizzy if I actually do it. But if I put my head over top of my body, kind of like this, then it'll trigger dizziness. But if I'm able to keep my head straight up, then I'm usually okay when I'm bending over. Getting up and down too fast can also do it. When I actually was dizzy beforehand, when I was in school, it's kind of also can feel like a lightheadedness. So I actually interpreted this as I wasn't eating enough, which I think is what contributed a little bit to my weight gain, because I felt like I wasn't eating enough. Because as soon as I would eat something, usually the dizziness would go away, and I'm like, okay, I must not be eating enough. And then it would be back again within a few hours, and I'm like, what is happening? So if I get really, really dizzy, I have to lie down because you feel like you're gonna lose your balance, basically. The few times that I've actually walked on a small boat, so you're gonna get that weightless feeling in your legs. Well, that's kind of how it feels for me with the when I'm walking around. If I happen to be dizzy, like it feels like you don't quite have your balance. It's really weird. I found that I've lost my balance sometimes during really, really bad dizzy spells. Usually the only thing that helps with this is sleep, and sometimes I still wake up dizzy. So yeah, it's a difficult symptom to deal with. I've had pretty much both of the dizziness, so I've had the lightheadedness and the room spinning. For me, dizziness is a hard symptom because it's usually really, really strong when it happens. And if it gets really, really bad, it can be debilitating. Like the only thing that you can do pretty much is lie down. When I was dealing with the doctors when I was in school, I was mentioning dizziness so much, and it must have been confusing them because they were actually about to send me to a dizziness clinic because they didn't know what was going on. And by the time I got in, the dizziness clinic phoned me. It was April, and I'm like, I'm not doing anything during exam period because I don't know how this is going to go. I was also trying to manage kind of a few things around with the graduation stuff at the time too, so it was just not a good idea for me to try and balance this clinic, although it still makes me wonder kind of what they would have found out had I actually gone to this. But once I found out that it was a symptom of the bigger issue of IIH, it was a little bit easier to deal with. And I still wonder if I should have went to that, because maybe they would have, said, "Oh, well, you need a scan this much sooner." But I had no plans on seeing the doctor who had referred me again, because I had already had an appointment booked with my family doctor when I got home, pretty much immediately after I got home at this point. And I knew as soon as I seen my GP at home that I would get answers. It just might take a couple more months to do it. And do I wonder sometimes if that was the best decision? Not really, no. The dizziness is definitely hard to deal with when it gets really, really strong, because you feel like you have to lie down and you feel like you're gonna fall over. And the dizziness can impede upon my exercise, like what it was doing when I was on the medication, but not really IIH related, because it seems like it was a medication side effect. Because my dizziness did get a little bit better. As for now, that's it for today. Don't forget to drop into the comments down below and leave me a comment if you have anything that you would like to add to the video. Bye, everyone!